Man, I love Among Us. It's my what's up guys? Today we're gonna be doing a new Ninjago tier list because the last one is outdated, and two, my opinions have changed a lot since then. So we're gonna start with actually we're gonna go from the worst seasons to the best seasons, and I'm not gonna do it in chronological order. So in my opinion, the worst season of Ninjago is rebooted. The characters feel really off and the plot is really messy. I don't really like that much that happens in the season. The only thing I straight up love is the sacrifice and the funeral. So yeah, it's not that great of a season. It has some good moments, like I like that Lloyd gives up his golden power and Pythor was pretty good. Sensei Garmadon was really nice. But season overall just kind of sucks in my opinion. I don't really like that much of anything in it. So yeah, it's kind of bad. Not terrible though. I think it's not that bad. Because you see, the love triangle is terrible. Terrible. But the season is entertaining to watch, and it's not like, it doesn't make me angry watching it, so yeah. Next is Hands of Time. Hands of Time is also a bad season. It's not that bad, like compared to this, but it's still not good. I don't find the plot engaging or the writing interesting at all. The dialogue is strange, the villains are bland, and there's so much potential, but it just feels like it feels like they didn't try as hard as they could have. Maybe that's a rude thing to say, and it probably is, I shouldn't have said that. It's really mean, but for real. It just feels like they could have done so much more with the season if they just tried harder. Alright, that's kind of mean, but yeah. Woo is really good though. I enjoyed Woo in this season. Like, especially the dream sequence. You can see how regretful he is of his actions, and love how that comes back in season 11. This season dropped off quite a bit from my previous list, but season 2, the first half is pretty entertaining, but I don't know, it turns Garmadon into a comic book villain, when in pilot to season 1 he was a complex character who was also threatening, and here they made him like a total goofball. And then in the second half, like, I don't know, they just don't do anything interesting with him. At least that wasn't explored before. Sure, he has some good moments, like in episode 25, and when he sees Lloyd do Spinjitzu for the first time, but overall it's really not that interesting. And I kind of hate how they just turn it into a generic good versus evil story, because there's like, it just forces Lloyd to not actually fight his father, and it's really disappointing. So yeah, I don't know. The Overlord is a pretty weak villain. I don't really like him at all. I'm fine with good versus evil stories, but like, this one just feels lazy to me. There's any meaningful character development to back it up, so I don't know. It's pretty lame. Wrong place, wrong time travel logic. Time travel logic is really dumb. It makes no sense at all. But I don't know. It does have that like OG era of Ninjago nostalgia. I will give this season that. So maybe I should put it here because it's much more enjoyable than these, but I just think it's bad, to be honest. So yeah, season 2 is D tier. And next we have Day of the Departed, but I'm actually putting this one in C tier because despite a lot of the fights being really bad, and the whole point of the season was to bring back old characters, and they didn't really succeed that well with that. The Cole and Yang stuff I found enjoyable, and does a good job reinforcing his character in my opinion. I don't think, like, it's nothing amazing, but I loved the stuff where they were celebrating the holiday. I find that really interesting, and I'm sad. It would be cool if we saw the actual day that departed again, that would be pretty nice. And Yang was pretty likable and fun. Pythor was well done. Cryptor had a really terrible defeat. The characters weren't really that bad. The main characters were fine. Some of the villains were strange. Shen was just kind of a joke, which was pretty dumb, but the ninja themselves were good, so it's not that bad. And it's pretty entertaining. And the Royal Blacksmith songs were really good. So yeah, it's like a 5 out of 10. It's pretty meh, but definitely better than this in my opinion. So next we have Empire. Empire is fine. I feel like I should like it more, but I don't know. I just don't really care for it in my opinion. Like, there isn't really any meaningful character development from the ninja. It just feels like they played it super safe for the most part, and it's really boring. I just find the season really boring, and there's just so many dumb red visor fights that I didn't really care for Ska. I thought his character was really underwhelming, and I don't know. The season wasn't all bad though. There was some good stuff with Kino. Ninjago Confidential, Maze of the Red Dragon. It has some good stuff. But I don't know. There's a lot of stuff holding it down. Just like there is the character development, which is an issue, like not having any for the ninja. But the in-game logic is really strange and underdeveloped, and it's just really confusing in my opinion. And I don't know. It's just really strange. And a lot of the stuff is just not really all too interesting, so I'm gonna put it here. It's not that bad. It's definitely a bit better than Day of the Departed. Like, it's not that bad. Like, if I just turn my brain off, I can enjoy it a lot. So, after season 12, the next season is Possession. I know people really like Possession, and I don't know. I don't like it as much as most people. I think Moro is pretty weak. Cloud Kingdom is such a dumb location. I'm just not a fan of it at all. Nia's arc was and I think the story would have benefited a lot if they had her go with the ninja. But I don't know. It's just pretty disappointing to me. Boo was good, and the ninja's journey was pretty fun. And I don't know. If you turn your brain off, it's really good. And Lloyd being possessed was well done. Kai's dynamic with Lloyd was well done. And I find some things to be strange. Like, okay, they can drink tea, but liquid hurts them. And I don't know. There's just so much inconsistencies in the season too. But yeah, it's not that bad. No, it's a good season. I don't know. I don't know why I'm shit talking it so much, but it's good. I liked a lot of it. Seeing Cole cope with being a ghost, that was well done, and the humor was well done. The episode in Yang's temple was well done. The scene with Lloyd and Sensei Garmadon in Curse World Part 2 is easily one of my favorite moments in the show. And even in the first Curse World part, where Mora manipulates Lloyd into... or not manipulates, but just like emotionally distracts him so he could have time to bring back the perimeter. I thought that was really strong. So next we have the pilot season. Pilot season is really good, really good. I think it does a lot right and doesn't have that many problems. does a really good job setting up the show and making you like the characters, which is like something that every first few episodes should do, and I think this does it really well. The lore is interesting. The feel of the season was really nice. I don't know what it is. Like, maybe it's the voice acting mixed with the simple story and with the tone of the season. I don't know. It's just really nice and really well done. And I think Garmadon is really well done. He has a great threatening presence, and his history with the Wu is really interesting. It's pretty simple though. It's not like some complex season, so that's why it's not higher. It just feels like it's relatively simple with not much beneath the surface. So yeah. Next we have season 14. Is it season 14 or is it The Island? Or I don't know, whatever it is. This installment is really good. It isn't out in English, so maybe I could be wrong. Who knows? Maybe it's better, maybe it's worse. But I really enjoy this season. I'm just gonna call it a season. Who cares? I really enjoyed it. Twitchy Tim was really nice. The action was great. The lore was really well done, and I just love the season, dude. Like, it was really well done in my opinion. Honestly, sometimes I just want to put it higher, dude. Fuck, that was really good. But yeah, it had pretty good pacing, and it doesn't really have that many big issues. And I think it's like, I don't know, I put it like here, like in the middle, between this, but I think it leans more towards B tier. Not that it's bad, it's really good, and I really enjoyed it. So next, after this, we go into the A tier. And for me, the first thing in the A tier is Tournament of Elements. Tournament of Elements peaks in the first episode. Like, the first episode was so good. Seeing Cope with Zane, seeing them all broken up and doing other things was really emotional. And the development was well done. And I loved Sensei Garmadon and Lloyd's dynamic. Chen was a really interesting villain, and I love how this recontextualizes the Serpentine War and the fight between the Elemental Masters and the Serpentine. And it makes them more than just, evil guys who just want revenge. So yeah, it was really well done. And I love how it solved the love triangle thing, and I love Zane's arc, even if the other Elemental Masters really didn't need a dragon, and it kind of makes no sense for them to have one. I don't know, it was a really good arc. Besides that, the Elemental Masters themselves weren't that interesting, but I don't really expect the season to develop them that much, considering there's only 10 episodes. But yeah, it's really good, and I just find it really well done. One other thing I dislike is that Kai, for some reason, turns evil. Okay, the reason he turns evil makes sense. I don't have a problem with that. I have a problem with him still being jealous over not being the Green Ninja. That just kind of shits on his whole arc in season 1. I just find that extremely strange and unnecessary, and it doesn't really lead to anything important, like in this season or the next one. So I don't know. It's just really dumb in my opinion. Should have been cut. So after season 4, I know this is gonna be a hot take, but season 11. I remember my first list. It was like C tier, and I was like, I don't know. I've grown to really like season 11. The fire chapter has some issues. Like, Jay was kind of strange. Asphira is pretty generic villain. It's pretty simple, and I don't know, there isn't really much there, and it kind of repeats a lot from the previous seasons. But I like the fire chapter because it's just so rewatchable and fun. Like, the 11-minute format some ways really hurts the season, but some ways really benefits it. Like, makes the episode so much more rewatchable and, in my opinion, memorable. Because I just really enjoyed it. The fight animation was extremely well done. The Explorers Club was a great episode. News Never Sleeps, Snake Catastrophe. And I don't know, I just love the season. And I thought the additions to the lore were interesting, even though they're pretty minor. Like, the serpent, there being, like, original versions of the Serpentine that weren't in tribes, and them being, like, Egyptians is really cool. And Wu's history of Vesper was really well done. The Ice chapter is even better, in my opinion. Lloyd, Akita, the Ice Emperor, and Vex, everything relating to that, I think, was amazing. And really well done. I also think Nia's arc and Cole's arc were well done. Crag was likable. The Formlings were interesting. Akita's backstory was great. The Ice Villagers were nice, and the music of this season, oh my god. The music of the Ice chapter is, like, easily the best in the show, in my opinion, except for maybe Hunted. But yeah, I love that so much, and it's just really one of the most memorable seasons, in my opinion. I know people are going to disagree with me on that, but I can remember a lot from this season, and it's really fun while watching it. So yeah, it's like an A-tier season. I thought a lot about putting this here, but I thought a lot about putting it behind Tournament of Elements, but I just find season 11 just so much more interesting. Another hot take, I love March of the Oni. March of the Oni is a fucking fire season. Thought it was so well done. First of all, there's the Garmadon thing with him learning about Ninjago and why people do things they do, and becoming an actual person is really interesting to watch, and it's something that we never really seen in Ninjago, and I love it. And I love how Garmadon doesn't just turn good. He just goes off to be neutral and leaves the monastery of his own accord and to live a new life, and I find that really beautiful. And Lloyd's relationship with him was well done. The way he acts towards him leads really well into season 11. I just thought it was really, really well done. There's a lot of nice callbacks with the Tornado of Creation and the Golden Weapons, which were really nice to see back. And I love the feeling of, like, despair in the season. No, that sounds edgy, but just like how struggle after struggle, the ninja just keep moving on, and then in the end, what causes them to win is their bond with each other and their, like, friendship. I know that sounds cringe power of friendship, but I don't know, that's based in my opinion. So yeah, I love this season. I think Omega was pretty bad, and the Oni weren't all too interesting, which isn't that big of an issue, I'm gonna be real, because one, we already knew a good amount about the Oni, and two, the focus was on the main characters, and where it focuses, it does really well. It would have been nice to see some stuff with Wu, but considering it's only 4 episodes, I think they did the best they could in that regard. So yeah, it's a really good season, a great season actually, I love it so much. And it's really short too, which makes it rewatchable. So yeah, I really enjoy it. So after this, we get into the S tier, like the real good seasons, and I'm gonna start off with season 1, Rise of the Snakes. Arguably, the season should be higher. I think I should, like, it's so consistent in its characters and its writing, and doesn't feel like there's a low point, seriously. There's like so much good character development, additions to the lore, so many series changing events, like Zane being revealed as a robot, Lord being the Green Ninja, Nia becoming a real character. And it really highlights the characters really well, and I don't know, it just succeeds on pretty much everything it tries. Like, I don't think there's that many issues with this season, in all honesty. And it's really strong. I don't know what else to say. It was really good. Lloyd Garmadon was great. I know people think he's annoying, but that makes it even better in my opinion. Because knowing where he ends up in like the later seasons is insane. Like, just looking back. Well, yeah, season 1 is great. I love it. Season 1 is amazing, actually. I love it. It's so good. So yeah, really good job. Next we have season 8. Season 8 is seriously so good. Like, the main reason it's this high is because Lloyd, Harumi, and Garmadon. Those 3 characters were so well done. Lloyd having his past cloud him and his relationship with Harumi was well done. Harumi's backstory and motivation was really interesting, and her scenes with Lloyd are really compelling, in my opinion. And I don't know, man, this season is just so good. The animation is beautiful. The fight scenes, the bike chases were all so good. And the last 2 episodes were amazing, in my opinion. Some of the best the show has to offer, and yeah, the season just succeeds on so many levels. There was like a 1-week episode at the start. Like Snake Jaguar was a pretty weak episode, and Hermes' plan has some inconsistencies, but besides that, I think season 8 is really well done, and I love a lot of what it does. So yeah, season 8 is so good, and I love how it ends on a cliffhanger and leads into the next season. And Mistake was great. Like, I love when they bring back minor characters from the past to make them important. Which is one thing I like about season 14, kinda. So next we have season 13. Season 13 is amazing. Much like season 8 and season 1. But yeah, it's so good. I love Cole and how it recontextualizes his like entire arc throughout the show, and the animation is beautiful, the Appley are extremely likable, and it's just so good. And it's so entertaining to watch. And the pacing was not really an issue. And it was just really well done. I love the locations. The locations in the season are really interesting. I like the Gecko months, and I find their history really interesting, and I'll go more in depth in the upcoming reviews I'm going to do. But yeah, I really like season 13. I think it's easily one of the best seasons. It does so much right, and has a really strong, emotionally powerful finale. So yeah, it's amazing. Definitely the best of the new Ninjago seasons. So next we have season 9, Hunted. Hunted is just, I don't know, the only word I can use to describe it is triumphant. It just feels so amazing. Like, the scale, the tone, the feel, the writing was so good. Iron Baron was great. Emperor Garmadon becoming a more complex character was extremely good. Harumi's conclusion, Mistake getting more development, Lloyd's arc, Wu's arc, Garmadon stuff, dude. Oh my god, this season is so good. Like, I don't think this season has like a low point. Every episode is so good in my opinion. It's so well done, and every episode feels important, and each like victory that the ninja gain are so good. the dragon hunters are pretty similar to the sky pirates. There's too much different, but it is really well done. And there's like Harumi getting captured for no reason is strange. That's like the one thing in the season that I find kind of bad. But besides that, I love the season. It's like pretty much perfect. Besides that, and I thought it was a really good ending to. Not ending, but like ending for the Hagen brothers. They really ended it on a strong note. So yeah, it was really well done. So after season 9, we have the best season, Skybound. Okay, so a lot like Master Mountain, it does a great job making the characters that we already have even better. Like, Jay becomes more than just a comic relief character and a real thought out character. And you grow to really respect him and see that he's just so much more than what he was portrayed before. And his relationship with Nia is so like realistic and interesting, and you make sense why Nia is not mad at Jay, but just reluctant to be with him. And it's really well done. Nadakon was really, really good. His backstory, his crew, his writing, the stakes of the season are great. I love how Jay wins because of the love in his own heart for Nia, and it's really well done. And I love how how the ninja got picked off, and it's Jay of all people who has to save the day, which is so well done and awesome. And I don't really hate anything for the season. Like the scene of the ninja getting captured, each one of them is really well done in my opinion. And hot take, I really enjoyed the ninja being famous. So that was really funny. The prison episode was really good. The humor was good. The lighting was so good. Flintlock was fantastic. Clancy was fantastic. The episode of Jay just basically getting tortured is so interesting. And it makes you respect him so much more. But yeah, it's such a good episode. Such a good season, man. Like every time I watch it, I just fall in love with it again. It's such a good season. Just so good. So yeah, this is my tier list. If you disagree, feel free to comment, and when season 15 comes out, I'm probably gonna make another one of these. So yeah, shoutouts to Cube for making this list. You can follow him here. Yeah, back to Among Us. I love Among Us. You guys love Among Us? I love Among Us. I love